go ahead and start out with Lilli. So, for this particular one, we've got ourselves a druid class. Just a reminder of what the Magic Carpet family does. The heroes in this family have the full flight momentum. Hero starts with, has flight momentum, but they start with full flight momentum. So, basically, full flight momentum is going to lose a little bit at the beginning of each turn and when they are hit. But when they cast their special, they regain all their flight momentum. A reminder of what flight momentum is. Let's see, that's this one. Okay, flight momentum. If this character has any amount of flight momentum, they receive up to 35% mana generation, 25% chance to dodge. These effects lessen the less flight momentum they have. So basically, when they start the fight, because they get full flight momentum, they are going to start with plus 35% mana generation and 25% chance to dodge. It makes these characters very interesting, in my personal opinion, and definitely worth collecting. So I'm a big fan of that family mechanic. It's been a lot of fun. And then, of course, she also has the superior resist negative minion effects. So that is going to go ahead and say this character has innate resistance against incoming negative effects and damage from minions and mega minions. Okay, she also, worth noting, I do not see the negative health effects to mega minions on this character, which will be the first Magic Carpet hero that doesn't have them. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy here. Weaker mega minions. Nope, there it is. Okay, just not there. Weaker mega minions. I don't know if that's an oversight. Perhaps she was meant to have it and they just didn't put it on there. It is strange to me that she is the very first one that's not going to have this ability, but you know what? That's fine. Regardless, she does not appear to have it. So let's get back into this review. Aether Power, damage reduction. So for the first 6 turns, she will take 10% less damage. That's helpful to keep her alive, and that's probably going to be important because when we get down here to her special, Catnip Fury, it will be operating at slow speed. So slow heroes do need a little bit of extra survivability, so the Aether Power falls in line with that. At slow speed, she will be stealing all minions and mega minions from the target. She'll deal 850% damage to the target, so she's literally like a cannon blast, but only to the single target. All enemies, however, receive plus 50% increased damage as long as the caster has a minion or mega minion. This effect can't be dispelled. That's interesting. And I'll get into why that's interesting in just a moment. Okay. All buffs affecting attack, defense, and mana generation on all enemies are transformed into matching uncleansable ailments. Okay, so basically what we're looking at here is the flip of all the debuffs. We've seen this before. We've got a absolutely massive single target snipe hit. And this right here, the all enemies receive plus 50% damage as long as the caster has a minion or mega minion. I want to point something out here because this is where things can get tricky and you can manipulate this in a way I don't think it was originally designed to be done, but like can still be done. So, for example, she steals minions and mega minions. So you think, hey, if she manages to steal these things, she's also going to create a buff that increases the damage done to the entire enemy party, and that's true. That is, I think, the whole design of it. However, it does specify that as long as she has a mega minion or minions, which means that if you're summoning minions for your own side, right? Like if you are creating minions to help buff your guys up, understand that she is going to benefit from those minions as well. So if you have like 3 Kingdoms, really beefy minions up there, if you have Moonbell or Holda or, any of these crazy minion makers, as long as she has those minions up for herself, the entire opposing team is going to take 50% increased damage. And this is an undispellable effect. The only way to get rid of it will be to kill those minions. So I think what's important to understand is that although this character is slow, the effect does not need her special to go off, I don't believe. It just says, all enemies receive plus 50% increased damage as long as the caster has a minion or mega minion. This effect can't be dispelled. That has nothing to do with turn duration or anything like that. So she might be operating at slow. However, this effect should trigger as soon as she receives a minion, increasing the damage the entire enemy party takes by 50%. Now, that is absolutely massive, and I think that's where her value is truly hidden. It doesn't talk much about it, but like that is a huge way to pull off some extra damage. So like even if we're doing something as silly as like Pengi's Christmas minions, right? Like they get up pretty quickly, awesome. And then you cast your specials after you put your minions up there. All of your specials will then do 50% increased damage. Like, there is a lot of interesting combinations that can be worked in with that. And then eventually, you're going to get to a point where she is going to blast somebody for 850% damage. So, like, let's go ahead and grade this girl. Based off of her interaction with minions, like I would say before she was kind of lackluster at a slow, huge sniper hit. Like we've seen a few of these types of characters. They're fun, but they take so long to operate that they kind of lose some of their luster. Her caveat of increasing damage to the entire opposing team by 50%, though, like I think that bumps her up. Normally I'd give her like a 7, an average effect for a character like this. I'm gonna go ahead and bump her to an 8. And the truth is, depending on how this minion interaction works, because I'm thinking it's going to be extremely powerful, she might even bump to a 9 if you have the right characters to develop with her, because I think that the amount of damage that you can dish out, think of how strong some of these characters are hitting. If you're able to have them do an additional 50% damage, you're going to absolutely wreck people. So like her combination with minion makers is going to be absolutely fun. I would love to grab this character and play around with that concept itself, because I do love the Three Kingdoms costume characters. I think she'd be a fun mix with them. Like Chen goes off at fast speed, and then she, as long as she gets a minion, then all of a sudden there's 50%. Anyway, the point is there's lots of fun things that can be done with that. So let's put her at an end grade of 8. All right, I talked a little bit on this one, but I like when they create specials with fun interactions. So congratulations to anyone who gets her. Let's go ahead and move on to our next hero.